So thank you guys for taking the session. So here we have one participant in offline. Yeah, so can you see my screen, guys? Am I audible properly?
Yes, you're able to see.
Yes.
Yes, so first of all, thank you all for joining the demonstration. There are a few more participants to join, so I think they will join. So let's continue. So here, this entire demonstration will be having the roadmap, what and all we are going to cover in this training program. Okay. So here we'll be mainly focusing on data stage, data everything concepts, and the SQL part will be covering how we can use the BigQuery. So nowadays, the existing databases, whatever the data everything applications are there in Teradata and Oracle, other database platforms. Now we are moving to cloud. So systems are moving to cloud. So that is the reason here I'm covering BigQuery so that we can consider like BigQuery conversion project, like data migration project, they can keep in a profile so that it is easy to get the profile get shortlisted. Okay. So once you master data stage skill, you will become a data engineer. Okay, so here we will be moving the data from one place to another place. So by applying various transformation rules. So here one place in the sense like where we'll be extracting data from source layer and applying the transformation rules, okay, like aggregation, sum of the values, minimum values, and do some validation set. And finally, we'll be loading the data into a destination place, maybe database. Okay. So here, ETL plays a major role between upstream application towards the downstream application. Upstream application in the sense where we'll be having the front end tools like Java. There, the data will be the transactions. For example, here we have the OLAP. So here we have the systems called OLAP. Okay. So before data coming to the OLAP, so here we'll call it as a OLTP. So OLTP in the sense layer where the basic transactions will happen. So for example, if you go to any retail outlet and you have purchased some products, and that transaction entries will be stored in database. Okay, so what data engineers will do is they will extract the data, okay, and apply the transformation rule like summing up the total the products, the total amounts, and load the data into one database. That is data warehouse, which we'll be calling it as a OLAP system. Okay, so OLAP means online analytical processing. OLTP means online transaction processing. Okay. So here we'll be loading data in target layer, that is data warehouse. It may be a database. Sometimes we need to share our report in a form of file also. So we need to share the data in a form of file. So sometimes target also will be a file. So ultimately, so data stage is a tool that moves the data from one place and applying the transformation. Okay. So I know you people are from different backgrounds. Okay. So if you are from non-IT and they want to shift their career to IT, If you are already working, they want to enhance their skills from different platform to ETL data stage. Okay, and few of them are already working on data stage. Previously, they worked on support application project. Now they got opportunity to work on development project. So they want to enhance the knowledge. Okay. So about me here, I have total 14 plus years experience. And especially in data stage, I have 10 years experience. And remaining 4 years, I worked on information analyzer, PP2, as part of data quality and ETL testing. And 10 years, I was in mainly application support and mainly development projects. Almost 7 to 8 years, I worked on mainly data warehousing, building data warehousing application, building development tasks by using data stage. So from 2018 November onwards, my part-time trainer, okay, I'm already working in a Indian based company as a associate technical architect. And part-time trainer come on job support consultant. I'll be providing the job support at the work people who are in India and outside India. Okay, so this is about me. So this is entire uh, course roadmap in 60 hours. Okay, so 60 hours. Okay, so it will take 1 month, maybe 5 or 10 days to extend. Okay, so now we are starting the batch, and tomorrow onwards we'll have our regular sessions. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll be covering data warehousing concepts, and next week we'll be covering the BigQuery part, the SQL 5 days. And the 15th onwards we will be having the data sessions. And here we have elections in India, so I'm planning to complete the course by May 10th. So this is the commitment from my side. Okay. And here, 5 hours I will be covering the SQL cloud basics SQL, which is a BigQuery. So here I will be helping you how to create a Google Cloud platform account and how we can use as a database. Okay, so they'll be having 300 USD as a credit card. Like in Indian currency, it is almost 25,000 rupees. Okay. So how we can work with the cloud GCP BigQuery? So that 5 hours will be for dedication to SQL training. And Unix, ETL testing, and the other tools that I'm going to cover 3 hours. And here we have 2 hours on data warehousing concepts. So that will be covering tomorrow and after tomorrow. So 2 hours on data warehousing and ETL concepts. So in this data warehousing concept, we'll be covering the data modeling part and data warehousing fundamentals and various OLAP functions and data mods, different characteristics of data warehouse. So you can see the curriculum here. So if you go to this website, datastagetraining.com. So here you can see the data warehousing fundamentals data stage. Okay. So this entire this thing will cover in 2 sessions: data warehousing fundamentals and ETL concepts. Okay, and remaining 30 hours, it's totally data stage sessions. Like we'll be covering basics to advanced levels. So here we'll be covering 75 to 80 scenarios with live examples on the training. And once the training gets completed and you have to do a project work, that is 20 hours. And here I'll be giving some scenarios. And you need to work on the scenarios, some sample assignments. And these assignments are mainly questions, what and all we are going to face in the interviews, especially. If you are able to solve those scenarios which I'm giving, so you can you can crack the interview very easily. Okay, so this is about roadmap for 1 month training program. So, any questions here so far? No questions, all good. Someone is saying something else.
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay. Any other questions from others? You can respond in the chat box. If you're unable to unmute those. I'll go to Okay. So if you're enrolled for the training program, like I'll be providing the pre-recorded session. Okay. So pre-recorded sessions are like I will show you how the pre-recorded sessions. And we'll be having the regular sessions as well. Okay. So here we have it's a scenario-based videos and data stage videos day-wise. Okay. So here you can see day-wise, day one, day two. Okay. So here we'll be having a content. Okay. So what to learn from day one, day two. Like that. So this you can see the structurized content. So if you want to learn by yourself, so this is also another option. Total the roadmap for 30 months. And here in self-learning videos, we'll be having study material. And also SQL. SQL anyway we are covering with BigQuery, right? So that also I will update here. And project work templates, assignments. So that I will be sharing. And here we have quality stage videos. And also Unix. So Unix is basic mandatory skill that we have to learn. It's very simple. Okay. So Unix videos. So I will be giving access to all this videos. Okay. And next thing is the lab requirements. Okay. So here I'll be providing software. Okay. So that software will be lifetime access. So generally, other training institute they will give access for 1 or 2 months. That's it. So here I'm providing a lab. So which will be lifetime access. Okay. So these are the system lab requirements in your personal lab. Like you need i5 processor or above and 8 GB RAM or above and Windows 10. Okay. So if above system requirements, lab requirements in your personal laptop, if this configuration is matching, okay, so that will be fine. In case few of them having i3 processor and they have 8 GB RAM. So will that support? Yes, it will support, but your drive should be SSD. Okay, if you have i3 processor, 8 GB RAM, you can do Windows 10 OS, and you need to have this SSD, then it will work. Okay, so please share your system requirements. Already few of them before in the training inquiry, uh, they have arranged me. I mean, they have shared their reports. I mean, they have shared their system requirements. So I have given suggestion according to the what they have currently. Okay. And now let's go. What is it? Why we build data warehouse? So this is the first question you have to think when you started learning data stage. So data stage is it? Subhadeep.
yes, sir. One question I have. Sir, when you are telling that we have lab access lifetime, that means you will give the access of that VDI lifetime access or
So we'll be giving access. We'll be creating the credentials, and I will be installing your personal. Okay. So
that
those access
VDI?
in a form of video. So I will show you this video. So here in my system, you can see VMware workstation, like in a form of video, I will give access.
Okay.
So this is, so in your desktop only will be access in a form of video. So why we build data warehousing application? So no, data warehousing applications are built to analyze the business. Okay, so data warehousing is nothing but a storage location. Okay, so normally where we'll store the data? We'll store the data in a database. Okay, so first of all, what is a warehouse? Right. So what is a warehouse? What is a warehouse in general terminology? What is a warehouse? Say store. It's to store something, right? Okay. To store something. Okay. So here, when we have, if we want to store something, okay, so we need a warehouse. Similarly, data warehouse. Data warehouse is nothing but to store the data. To store the data for an enterprise, the purpose of storing the data is to analyze the business. So here we are building data warehousing application to take a business decision. Okay, like who is my customer? So I want to analyze the number of customers that are working through our outlet. And so last month, last quarter, how many new bank accounts has been opened? New current accounts has been opened. So for example, if it is a bank, so they want to analyze the number of customers, the last new customers in the uh, last quarter. Okay. So number of customers who close the accounts. What is the reason they close the accounts? Okay. So is there an issue with the bank? Okay. So sometimes if the bank charges are heavy, I mean like okay, so what they will do is they will close the account and they will open a new account in some other bank. So like that. So customer wise, we can analyze the business. And we can analyze the business product. For example, if you're running a store or you have a product, okay, so you want to know like product wise, what is the sales? So if you have a retail outlet, so in retail outlet like hypermarket, we'll be having different products, right? Okay, so I want to analyze the business based on the product wise. So product wise, what is the revenue generated in the last quarter? Okay, month wise. Okay, so here we can do this kind of analysis in database. Okay, so that is the reason here we are building this database. I want to analyze my business with a time. Okay, so when the business is happening more, like weekdays or weekends during festival times, like I want to compare the results last quarter to the previous quarter. Okay, so is there any improvement? Is there any sales improvement comparing to last month to the previous month? Okay, and last quarter to the previous quarter. Okay, for example, I have 10 hypermarkets, retail outlets in Hyderabad. Let's take an example. So here I want to analyze the business based on location. Which location has more sales volume? Okay, so which location has less sales volume? So why the sales is less? What is the reason? What are the factors that sales is? So it may be issue with the locality of the people, surrounding people who are living in the surrounding areas, like below middle class. So they can't afford too much of price if it is expensive. So here we can do this kind of analysis in the database. So that is the reason here we are building database. Okay. So any questions here? Are we good? Next. So to build database applications, what we need? we need a system, like we need a data, right? To build a warehouse means, to build a data warehouse means we need a data. So we need to acquire data. So we need to have the process called data acquisition. We need to extract the data. Okay, so and apply the transformation rules and load the data into a destination piece. Okay, so what is the data extraction? So data extraction is nothing but where we are going to extract the data. Okay, so here it is the process of reading the data from various operational source systems. Okay, so here we have internal source systems and external source systems. Internal source systems are like databases. Like here we have various databases like source systems like Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, Teradata. Okay, nowadays cloud. Okay, like BigQuery. Okay, Snowflake, DB. So here we have internal, we have relational database management system. And sometimes we receive the data in a form of files as a source. So like files that we are going to receive from upstream application. Okay, so that will be the source for us. So we are going to read the data from the files in a form of flat files. Okay, it's in a form of flat files in the sense like .txt file. Okay, so .txt files. So .csv files. .dat files. So it will make the files. And sometimes we receive data in a fixed width. Okay. So here we need to handle while in the ETL process in data storage. So we'll be, for example, here if you are working on any flat files. So normally I want to build a job. Okay, so click on job, job. Okay. So here what we can do is go to files, drag and drop sequential file. Okay. So drag and drop the sequential file. Okay. And the next one is, and I need to apply some filter conditions. Okay. So I don't want all the data to be loaded. Okay. So here I can apply filter. Go to processing stage. Apply the filter. So after applying filter condition, it will load the data in a database. Let's see our warehouse is Oracle. Okay. So like that here, we need to view the connections here. Right click, drag and drop. Like that, you have to do the navigation. So here source file, target is a database. Just as an example, I'm showing you. Okay. And here we have legacy system like mainframes. Okay, so here we'll be connecting to mainframes DB2 and Wasm. Okay, and we will be connecting to SAP also. So here we have Salesforce. Okay, so ERP sources, JDST Word, PeopleSoft, CRM applications. We connect to all the ERP sources as a source to pull, to extract the data. Okay, so after data extraction, what we can do? We can apply the transformation rules. Okay, so like merging the data. Merging means combining two tables data into one table. Cleansing. So make the data into proper format. For example, country. I have country like this. Okay, we are receiving data like this. So is there any proper format here? No, there is no proper format. What we can do is need to make one standardized format. So first letter should be capitals and remaining letters should be small letters. So like that, we need to do this data cleansing. Okay, and we are going to derive the data from the existing columns. That is data scrubbing. So all these transformations will apply in the data stage here. So here we have processing stages. So these processing stages will helps us to apply all this data transformation process and data aggregation. So data aggregation in the sense like sum of the values. Okay. Sum of the values the average, AVG values, average of the values, minimum value, okay, and the maximum value, maximum values. And the count, count of the records. So these kind of operations that we are going to perform. Okay, so average of the values. For example, if I hope everyone will have a bank account. Okay, so if you are not able to maintain minimum balance in your account, what happens? They will be having a penalty. Okay, so if it is a salary account, it's a zero balance account. But if it is not a salary account, if it's a saving account, so here we have to maintain. In SBI, you have to maintain 3K. Okay, so rural areas it is some thousand, I think. Okay. Urban and metropolitan cities, we have to maintain 3,000 is the minimum balance. Okay. So if you don't maintain the minimum balance, what happens? There will be a penalty according to the slab they will charge, like 100 rupees or 500 rupees. If it is private banks like HDFC and ICICI, you have to maintain 10,000 is the minimum balance for saving accounts. And similarly, we have current accounts. Okay. So normally for any government banks, so current account in the sense like people having the businesses. Okay. So current accounts we have to maintain some minimum balance amount like 10K. Even we have to maintain 1 lakh also. There are accounts with 1 lakh. This 1 lakh is the minimum amount we have to maintain. Okay. So here business happens. When the transactions are working, I mean, like the money flowing through from the current account. Okay, for example, if you are doing online shopping in Amazon, so your transaction amount is going to deposit in their bank account current account. Okay, so like that. So here we have to maintain the minimum balance. Okay, so here how the average balance will be calculated. So here today I have balance of 20,000 in my account. Tomorrow 20,000. So what is the leftover balance end of the day at 8 p.m. So that amount they will calculate by 30. That will give the average balance. Okay, so if the average balance in the entire month is greater than the what is the minimum balance we have to maintain, then there will be no penalty. If it is less than the average balance, then they will be having a penalty. So the money, I mean, they will debit it that amount from your account. Okay. So like that, these are the operations that we are going to perform the transformations. Okay. And the next thing is finally we are loading the data into a target. So that is data load. Dumping the data into destination base. Okay. So here we'll be loading data in two types. One is incremental load and initial load. When you are building data warehousing application for the first time, so here we'll be having the initial load. Okay, so that time full load. And over a period of time, your data will change. For example, let's take an example of a customer data. Okay. So for example, our address has been changed. Okay, so customer brought a new home. Okay, so now we move to the own house. Then he has to change all his address details. Okay, so here we have to, if you change in Aadhaar card in India, you can change it anywhere, any like gas bill, passcode, all the stuff. Okay. So here over a period of time, data will change. So that is the incremental. So here we have to update the system with the new entries, modify the existing records. Okay. So here in data warehousing, we will be having a dimension tables and fact tables. So dimension tables, what is dimension table, what is fact table? We will discuss detail level in tomorrow session, tomorrow day after tomorrow session. So here we'll be loading data into dimension table and the fact table. So here we will load the data, current data as well as historical data in dimension table. And fact table will be loading only the active records, active transaction that we are going to utilize for the business purpose. Okay. So these are the data acquisition steps, the ETL process and the data warehouse. Any questions here, guys? Questions? Abdul, Sandhya, Sudadeep. Right. So the next thing is, so here we need a software, right? So if you want to build a networking application, we need a software like code-based ETL tool, geo-based ETL. Code-based ETL tools are will be having this uh, databases ETL utilities like Teradata utilities. Okay, so here that this will help us the ETL operations, but it's a code-based is ETL extraction transformation. So here. So here code based is like programming. You have to write a code to move the data from one place to another place. Okay, so here we have SAS. SAS also a code based ETL tool. And here we have geo based ETL. Geo based ETL tools are graphical user interface. So here the tool will build the programming for us. For example, I want to extract the data from a file, okay, and load the data into a table. Okay. So here this geo-based tool is graphical user interface, like drag and drop. So here there won't be any coding. Okay, so here you have to drag and drop, make the connectors. Okay, so that way it will. Okay, so here geo-based ETL tools are like DataStage Informatica, Abinishum. Okay. So this is the basic architecture of data warehouse. So here we have an option to extract the data from multiple source systems and load the data into one staging area, and then we'll load the data into data warehousing tables. And then we'll be extracting data from data warehousing table and prepare the reports, and they will take a business decision. Okay. And the next one is DataStage. So DataStage is a tool like it will help us for the ETL purpose. Okay, so DataStage is an application in the server which connects to multiple data sources. So here you can see multiple data sources like operation databases, SAP system, Salesforce, CRM system, and flat files, third-party databases. Okay, so it connects to any data source and apply the transformation rules. Okay. So this entire process will be called ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading. So what is a job here? So here, if I moving the data from a file to a table, so this is a job. Okay. So this job, what is the purpose of this job? It moves the data from one place to another place. Okay. So here, DataStage job is a client server technology. So integrated tool. So here we will be designing the job, running the job, and monitoring the job, and administrating the job. So here simultaneously it is file is connected to Unix server. Okay, so here in real time we'll have Unix server where the files will be located. So normally in our practice, this thing that is installed in a Windows environment. Okay, so here it connects to that file location and apply the transformation loads. Again, this tool will load the data into a database. Okay, so that is data stores. So here we'll be discussing detail of all of this three components: designer, director, and administrator. So we'll be covering a little bit of admin part in the training and how we can work for a production support that we are going to cover in director. And majority of the training we will cover in development. So we'll be working with 75 plus to 90 scenarios. So this is the curriculum. Okay, so the same thing you can refer to. So any questions, guys? So this is the curriculum. So in this, as I told you, right, first two sessions will be having data warehousing fundamentals and ETL concepts, data modeling. Okay. So third session onwards will be having SQL. Okay, so 5 days we'll be having the SQL sessions. After SQL sessions, we'll move into data stage. So data stage, 2 hours we have data stage theoretical sessions. And then third class onwards, we have the lab sessions. So here we working with various stages here. What and all is there in this like databases. So here in VM, our VM comes with two databases. One is DB2 and Oracle. Okay. And other databases, how we can connect those things, I will explain. If it is cloud also, I will explain. I will cover in the training program. And these are the various files operations. And we will be covering all this process stages and real-time stages and restructuring data. So all this stuff we'll be covering in this. Okay. And we'll be working with automation process like jobs. If I want to run 10 jobs, I have built 10 jobs, 2 jobs, I want to run one after the other, all the at a time. So automation process, how we can do the automation. So those kind of things we'll cover in the training program. So we'll be covering BigQuery as I committed. So we'll have our SQL sessions as well. Okay. So these are the lab requirements. So here the mode of payment for the training fee, you can pay through the Google Pay or PhonePe and net banking, and you can have option to take the payments via credit card as well. So for net banking and credit card, you can ping me. So I'll be sharing the link. And for net banking, I'll be sharing the bank account details. Okay. So any questions for enrollment, you can contact this number. So any questions, guys? Okay, so our regular class normally the participants from US also this and the they are from US. So shall we I mean, like regular classes we have at 7 a.m. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have session at 7 a.m. I'll be sharing the new meeting link. Okay, for tomorrow session. So this demo link is only for demo points. And tomorrow the new link will be shared. Okay. So I will be updating the new link to you in via WhatsApp. Okay. Yes, yes. I will be providing GCP. See how to create an account. Yes, I will be providing that as well. Okay, so any other questions? You can unmute yourself and you can ask the questions. Sandhya, are you there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So So you are in which time zone, like Eastern or Central?
Eastern, EST.
So EST. Okay. So then we need to have session at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. is fine for you, right? 7 a.m. EST. So that will
Yeah,
come
7 is good for me.
Yeah, so that will be 9:30 p.m. Mr. Pankaj.
Yeah, 9:30 for me.
So tomorrow we'll have a session at 7 a.m. EST. I'll be sharing the new okay, for tomorrow session. Subudhi, any other questions?
No, sir.
Subudhi, Rakesh, Bob, Kiran B. 7 a.m. is okay for Indian participants.
Yes, sir. It's okay.
There are people working in the shifts. I think for them also it's okay. They are working in second shift. One to 10. 1 a.m. 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay then. So for enrollment, you can contact me. This is my, my number, right? And I will be sharing the new meeting invite for tomorrow's session. Okay. Thank you. Guys.